Hey everyone, Chris here, the RC Geek, coming to you from the shop, and today we are taking a look at the FMS Fox Glider. This is a huge 3-meter powered sailplane based on the full-scale Fox Glider, and it is an extremely fun sailplane. If you've never done any kind of sailplaning or anything like that, it really is a whole different animal compared to powered flight. I hadn't done much sailplaning before, and I had just an absolute blast with this airplane. And so the model actually just kind of clicks together, if you will, but you do have to be careful to make sure that all of the pins are fully engaged. And so what's nice about that is that you can disassemble it and actually put it back into the box if you need to store it or anything like that. And so it starts out with the tails. You slide the horizontal tail into place into the rear vertical tail section. And so that just snaps into place, and then you feed that onto the main fuselage with a carry-through spar there, and then that just slides on and rotates into place onto the back of the fuselage. You do want to make sure those pins are fully engaged, so once it's on, double check that it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't move or rotate. And then from there, the wings slide into place onto the really large carbon spar. And in this case, there are 2 spring-loaded pins that are on the underside of the wing that have 2 little latches on them. You do want to make sure when you slide those wings on that those fully engage front and back. So when you put it on, twist the wing to see if it can come out in any way from the wing root. Otherwise, you could run into problems. I actually had a wing start to slide off on me on the first flight.
I am shocked! Well, not that shocked.
So you don't want that. Make sure that those pins are fully engaged and you won't have any problems at all. You know, with the airplane fully together, it is a big airplane and it looks fantastic. It is mostly bare foam. I do wish it was maybe painted and maybe in a more scale kind of paint scheme, but it really looks awesome. Now, setting up the airplane was relatively easy. You've got, ailerons, elevator rudder, and flaps, but it also has the V2 reflex gyro in it set up for the airplane. And so to set that up, you do need a spare channel that you can assign a 3-position switch to. And so just keep that in mind. And what that does, it allows you to select through the rate mode, just through the gyro off mode, or there's also a self-leveling mode too that you can utilize, kind of like safe. And so with respect to the CG, it is a power glider. I have a 6S5000 pack that I'm using in the airplane, and that's pushed as far forward as is feasible based on the Velcro that's in there. And so that felt good in terms of the CG, and that equates to about 90 millimeters as measured from the wing root leading edge aft. And if you're flying the airplane and you find that it's kind of hunting on you with the power off in a dive, that tells you that you need to actually move the CG further forward. And so with this CG, the airplane will come into a power off dive and it is rock solid. Just keep that in mind. You want a really nice stable airframe when you are flying a sailplane like this. And so otherwise, in terms of the controls, I am at 100% all around. And so for the aileron, it equates to 22 millimeters up and down with no expo. For the elevator, 28 millimeters up and down with no expo. And for the rudder, 45 millimeters left to right and no expo there either. And for the flaps, 15 millimeters for the mid and 40 millimeters for the full flap setting. And there is a 4% and a 10% down elevator mix with the flaps. And that equates to about 2 millimeters for the full flap setting. Flying the airplane, I've not actually done a whole lot of sailplaning, and this airplane was a blast at the field. It is big, and so you do need help launching it, but it launches really easily. Once in the air, the goal was to take it up high and see how long we could fly without having to add power to climb back up. There's something about powered off flight and the silence that you get, like the sound from the airframe as it flies by is just incredible to me. Also with the power on, it is fully aerobatic. You know, you can do loops and rolls. You can do power off loops, power off rolls if you got, you know, the appropriate speed for it. And so this was kind of an introduction into sailplaning, and I do like it quite a bit, and I think I'm gonna have to explore it more. But otherwise, let's take this out to the field and we'll give you guys a flight and we'll come back and wrap this up. Are you good? Ready?
Oh, look at that one. Perfect. That was beautiful. Looks like a Tom Brady pass right there.
Chucking sailplanes.
It's still sitting in there with your shirt. Because they were next to this thing by themselves.
I haven't done much sailplaning, so this is kind of all new to me. It's pretty cool. I could imagine if the airplane was even more slippery, right? Because they've got pretty fat trailing edges on there because of the size of the airplane and it being foam. But I could imagine if it was like all composite, super fine trailing edges, man, it would really zoom with no power. And this does quite well without the power, but I can imagine just how much better it would be. But yeah, really great kind of intro to sailplaning. It's really cool. All right, so there is the FMS Fox Glider. This is an extremely large and fun powered sailplane. If you've never done sailplaning before, this is definitely recommended, but you do need some help launching it because it is large. Those power off passes, man, sounds perfect. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to check out this next video. Until next time, I'll see you at the field.